Hello, Randy here, and I'm really happy to welcome you to the back nine. In this episode, I'm going to be reviewing the just released brand new Titleist TSi2 driver, and I'm also going to add a few comments about the TSi3 driver. Titleist is on a 2-year release cycle for their drivers, which I really like. Some major companies come out with a new driver every year, and it can drive you nuts. I mean, I go to the pro shop now, and I look at the Callaway section, and I see a full rack of Mavericks, and next to it a full rack of Epics, and then another rack with some Rogues. But I really like this 2-year cycle, and some quality club manufacturers keep to that 2-year cycle. So it's been 2 years since the TS line was announced. So Titleist, with keeping form, has announced a new line of drivers. The first two in the lineup are the TSi3 and the TSi2. Now I have it on pretty good information that eventually they'll do the same as they did with the TS line and come out with a 4 and a 1, but that's not 100% guaranteed. Let me take a quick break for a second. If you like what you're seeing in this video, give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and smash that notification bell so you'll know when my next episode goes up. If you have time, go back and watch some of my older videos. I have a lot of clubs covered in there for 2020 and some interesting interviews. If you like any of those, give them a big thumbs up as well. This all really helps me out here at the back nine. The TSi3 has a smaller, more traditionally shaped profile than the 2 does. It also has a sliding weight in the back to help with draw or fade biased. It is also lower spinning. Now, to be fair, I did give the 3 a test on GC Quad, but as usual, with my game as it is right now, at 61, with 7 knee operations, 2 full replacements, and a slower swing speed, I didn't get along with it. It's not because of Titleist. I don't get along with any low spinning drivers, because with my slower swing speed now, I do need that spin to help me launch the ball, get a good peak height, and give me some good carry numbers. As with almost every new driver that's been announced in the past few years, the manufacturers have the same claims over and over again. How many times have you heard this? New face material, faster face, more aerodynamic, more forgiving. It's all the same marketing material, just either printed in a different way, advertised in a different way, but they're all saying the same thing. So that's why I don't read that marketing crap, and I don't read it to you off their website. What I like to do is try the clubs. I don't care if it has a different face material or if it's more aerodynamic. If it performs really good for me, that's great, and I'll tell you. And if it doesn't, that's good too, and I'll tell you. I think it's all good information. But I decide on how a driver performs for me by actually hitting it and not the marketing material. So with the new Titleist, they're making the same claims. The major 2 are more aerodynamic and a new face material that'll give you faster ball speeds. How many times have we heard this? The TSi line of drivers still don't use a carbon crown. I think that's kind of a shame. Other companies that have converted to the carbon crown have been able to use that weight savings to increase MOI and forgiveness. Now I know Ping still doesn't use a carbon fiber crown. And you might say, well, Randy, they're still really forgiving. Yes, they're one of the most forgiving drivers on the market. Where they're lacking is in distance. Ping drivers are really good if you want to hit fairways and get good distance. But there are other drivers out there now that are as forgiving and are longer. The TSi2 has a great sound and feel to it. I think it's the best Titleist has made in a long time, and I really enjoyed that part of hitting these drivers. The TSi2 is not a low spinning driver. I got good spin numbers for me, which meant I had no problem launching it, getting a good peak height, and good carry numbers. Now I did notice a slight increase in my ball speed numbers, but it didn't really equate to much longer distance for me. It was a little longer than the prior TS line was, but not monstrously long past the competition. So with that said, let me give you some of my averages from my time with the TSi2 driver. My ball speed average was 143.2. That's a good ball speed number for me. My launch angle was 15.1. My peak height was 42. My spin, 2680, which really helped me launch and get that good peak height. My average carry was 230.3. That is right up there with the drivers that I'm playing now. So I play the Speed Zone Extreme, and I do own a Mizuno, the current ST model. Both of those are long for me, and the Titleist is really right up there. The distance forgiveness on the TSi2 was really good. I was really surprised how far some of my misses went. Dispersion forgiveness was good, about the same as the TS line. And they just can't compete with the competition right now on forgiveness, on MOI. I mean, the Pings, the Cobra Speed Zone Extreme, the Sim Max, the Callaway are all more forgiving to different degrees than the TSi2. I think the TSi2 is a little longer than the comparable model in the TS lineup. I think Titleist is right up there with their competition now in distance. I've always thought that Titleist has made equipment aimed at the better golfer, the faster swinger, the lower handicap golfer. And I still do to this day. I played Titleist irons in the past when I was younger, had a faster swing, and was a single-digit handicap. They make quality stuff, but it's just not aimed at the average golfer, in my opinion. Now that Titleist seems to have the distance issue figured out with this TSi line, I hope that they focus on doing something to make an average golfer's driver that has the distance they need and the forgiveness, a high MOI. I think if they can do both of those, they'll be more competitive in the average golfer market. I want to talk about price for a second with you. This driver is $549. Now, you may be saying, Callaway has one that's that expensive, TaylorMade's not far behind. I'm still sick of this pricing, especially now with what the world's going through, with what I'm going through. Many people are unemployed, the most ever. People are losing their businesses. And I think in this environment, it would be really smart for some of these companies to wake up and come out with a good product at a fair price. I like to support companies that do that. For example, Cobra. Cobra Speed Zone irons, for the market that they're aimed at, is a really good price and they perform well. Me, I play the Speed Zone Extreme driver. I really like it. It's more forgiving than the Titleist, right up there with Ping, and the distance is good for me. That driver now is $200 less than this new Titleist. You can get a Cobra Speed Zone Extreme with a good shaft in it for $349. In summary, I did see some gains, not huge, but some, in ball speed. I'm not going to see big ones because I don't swing over 100 miles an hour. So I didn't see huge gains in distance. They were small. Maybe for someone who swings way over 100 miles an hour, that TSi3 might be for them, especially if they're a good golfer and consistent. If you own a TS driver that you really like and you hit it consistently and you're in play consistently, I don't see a reason for you to upgrade and spend the money. Now, if you're hitting fairways with that driver a lot and you're looking for a little more distance, then you might want to try one of the TSi drivers. It may work for you. I hope this video finds everybody safe and healthy during these challenging times. Now, when you're on that 170-yard par 3 to a small target green, you know what I want you to do? Hit them straight. Thank you very much for watching.